A two-part high school football season is being planned starting the coming school term as the Inter-Secondary School Sports Association ISSA tries to adjust to changes brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. Jordan Fort reports.
If the Inter-Secondary School Sports Association ISSA gets the green light to stage its high school football competition this season, it would likely be held in two parts, according to President Keith Wellington. Organisers were initially looking at a mid-October start to the season, but with COVID-19 vaccination efforts for students delayed by at least 3 weeks due to a lack of Pfizer vaccines locally, that has been pushed back to somewhere in November. According to Wellington, it would mean that the competition wouldn't be able to conclude in December as usual, but extend into 2022.
We have a group that we are working with, a technical group that includes members of the coaching association, the coach representing both Manning and the Costa Cup, as well as representatives from the JFF, as well as our media partners. So we will work together to come up with the format that best suits the circumstances. But what we have decided is that we want to play the competition in two segments, the preliminary round and possibly a quarter-final round before Christmas, and then we return in January to complete the competition.
Wellington says they would also try to limit rural area teams to specific geographical locations in the first round so as to minimize the risk of COVID-19 spread. In the meantime, as ISSA continues its plan to open its competition only to student athletes who have been vaccinated against COVID-19, Wellington believes the lack of face-to-face classes has actually hurt efforts to get better take-up amongst students.
I even think that where we are now would have been better handled if schools had access to our students face-to-face. I think the influence would have been a lot greater, and I think I dare say that the hesitancy would be less because, students and children, young teenagers have influence on their families, and if we as school have influence on them, they are going to go home and have discussion with their parents, and, I think we would have helped.
And with COVID-19 limiting physical classes, and the issues arising from virtual learning, Wellington says ISSA will continue with its decision to discard its academic and attendance requirements for competitions for this year.
We took a decision that for champs then, and for any competition we would have in 2021 leading up to December, we would not require students to meet any academic criteria. What we wanted to ensure was that they were enrolled in school and were bona fide members of the participating school. So we wouldn't even be checking attendance, so neither attendance nor grades, excepting for the case where a student would be moving from one school to sixth form elsewhere.
Up to Monday, Wellington said over 50 teams had already registered for the rural area the Costa Cup competition and over 20 for the urban area Manning Cup season. Apart from football, Wellington says swimming is the only other event ISSA has planned to execute for the rest of the year. Jordan Fort, TVJ Sports.
Thank you, Jordan. Let's go to another break on Primetime Sports Tuesday. When we come back, we have got racing and more in the next segment.